Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's me, Pam. Today guys, I wanted to pop back on here and push out one more video for the end of the evening. And today I am excited to use a eyeshadow palette I just recently received in a recent haul I just did. So this is a Colourpop palette, one of their quads, and it's called Triple Scoop. So if you're interested in wanting to know what kind of look I come up with, then stay tuned. Okay guys, we are back. So as you already noticed, my brows are done. I took care of them off camera. Now since this is going to be somewhat a Colourpop video, I wanted to share with you guys I did my brows in some Colourpop concealer that I've already purchased. These are not new. These are some that I've already had, and they were in the shade dark number 40 and medium dark number 32. Now these are the two shades right here. Now again, I've already had these in my collection. I have been using those anyway. So my brows are done, my eyelids are prepped, so we're going to go ahead and get into the Colourpop palette that I just recently received. Okay, so I want to create something fairly simple, like I said. So I'm going to go into using my Morphe brush, blending brush here. I'm going to go into this orange matte shade here at the top, and I'm just going to apply this all in the crease area. Now it don't take much of this, of course, just very little at a time. You don't want to go in too harsh, just a little bit on the brush, and you want to go ahead and blend this out into the crease area. Now I'm doing back and forth swiping motions and circular motions just to ensure that I get a good blend. So I'm going to deepen that up just a little bit more. Okay, now that I have enough of that blended in, I'm going to go in with a smaller blending brush. This too is by Morphe. And I'm going to go into the dark brown matte shade here. And I'm going to apply just a little bit of this on the outer end of the eye. And I'm going to bring it halfway in to the crease area. Not all the way, just halfway. And I don't want to make it too intense, but just enough to see some depth. Now I'm patting this in, of course, on the outer portion of my eye. And again, bringing that into the crease just a little bit, just to deepen up the orange shade I just applied. Now I'm going to go back into the orange shade here again and go back over that just a little bit. Only because I felt like I was losing the color just a little bit. Okay. Now the last shade I'm going to apply. Let me get a much smaller brush here. Okay, this too by Morphe, a little flat shader brush. And I'm going to go into the more rose shimmer shade here at the bottom. And I'm going to apply this all over the lid. And again, with the one I had the transitional shade in, and just barely buffing that across the top of that. Okay, I look just that quick and simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the other eye and apply my lashes off camera, and I'll be back to join you guys to finish up the rest of the face. Okay guys, I am back. As you can see, the eyes are done, the lashes are on. So my face is already moisturized, as you could tell. I'm not going to do any color correcting today. And so today I'm going in with some solution that I use as a primer, a little unorthodox, but this is what I'm doing today. I don't have any Colourpop primer, so I'm going to go on my face with just a little bit of this Calamine lotion here. As I said, a little unorthodox, but it works. I'm not going to worry about applying any of this on top of my forehead. So today we are trying a new foundation. We're trying a new foundation from Colourpop. This is the first time I will be using a Colourpop foundation. This is the no filter foundation here. I got this in the shade dark 170, I think. Now, when I swatched it in my haul, I just recently did a small mini haul with Colourpop and Beauty Bay. Please don't hesitate to watch that, by the way. But when I swatched this foundation, this liquid foundation, it looked like it would go perfectly to my skin. So, because, you know, sometimes that can be iffy when you, you know, searching for colors online and trying to do a color match online, paying attention to the undertones that you have or whatever case may be, and not all the time that works, because you could still be off. I can't tell you how many times I've purchased foundation only to find out they're either too dark or too light, so I end up having to mix. But this one here look like it's gonna work today, so I'm gonna go ahead and squirt just just 2 pumps. I put on my sponge jar, and we're gonna apply this. And I can see, of course, it's a little red or orange, I should say, but that's okay. I'm okay with it being a little orange, because I think it's a perfect match to my skin tone. So, and I like that. So we're gonna pack this into place. Now, one thing I have noticed, even about the Colourpop concealers, is that they dry down very fast. So we'll try a couple more pumps on the opposite side of my face. But I will say too, even though they dry down fast, it's very thin, but yet it still gives me a good coverage. I do like that. So I am definitely liking how this feel on my skin. And I'm liking how it looks as well. Dab a little bit of this on the forehead, over the brows. And I'm liking the color. I really am. The color looks good. So that's a plus. And another thing is I didn't have to do no mixing. That's a huge plus. So I'm really liking how this is really turning out. It don't feel heavy at all. Huge, huge, huge plus. Now I'm gonna go back into the 2 concealers that I used on my brows and my eyelid from Colourpop, and I'm gonna apply these under my eye. Again, this is in the shade number 40 and dark number 40 and medium dark number 32. So I'm going in with the darkest one here. Just a little bit. I don't apply much under my eye. Now I know on camera this is looking much lighter, than what I'm seeing in person, but I assure you it's not quite that light. So I'm going to go into the other one, and I'm just going to tap a little bit of this over top of that. I want my under eye area bright, but I don't want them too bright, if that makes any sense. So just add just a little bit down the bridge of my nose and on my chin. Only places I apply concealer. Now, unfortunately, I don't have everything in Colourpop, but what I do have, I'm going to make it work. So I'm going to go ahead and pat this in, because like I said, one thing I notice about Colourpop products is that they do dry fairly fast. Okay, take this down the bridge of my nose. I'm going to go ahead and get my setting powder ready. Again, no setting powder from Colourpop, but I'm going to be going into my Too Faced Born This Way translucent setting powder. So I'm going to go ahead and tap this concealer in under the eye. And since, you know, I have mature skin, I have noticed that my eyes are becoming more deep set. And so, because I'm dealing with mature skin anyway, it's imperative that I don't add a lot of product under my eye. So it won't cause a lot of creasing, because I tell you, I hate that. No matter what I do to try to prevent it, it just wanna all of a sudden just be known, pop out. Okay, it's blended out fairly good. So I'm gonna go in with some slight setting powder here. I don't add much, and I definitely don't do no baking. So I'm gonna tap this into place. Now what I do is try to make sure my under eye area is extremely moisturized, because when I keep them extremely moisturized, they do cut down on my under eyes from creasing, because I use all matte products. I love matte products. I don't like my skin looking dewy. I'm all for it looking, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm all for it looking very nourished, well saturated, if you will, without looking like I'm sweating. That I can't do. Okay, so I'm liking the turnout so far. So let's go ahead and add a little bit down the bridge and on my chin. So the next thing I'm going to do is go in and set my face where I apply foundation, and I'm going to go in with a different face powder, if you will. I'm going to go in using my Malani, and this is in the shade Warm 109, and I'm just going to tap this all over my face everywhere I didn't conceal. I normally just do a slight bronze, so I'm going to go into my Juvia's palette for that. I'm going to use the same shader brush here, and just to add a little depthness to my cheeks. Okay, not going to worry about the forehead, because after all, hey, my hair is on my forehead, so you wouldn't see it nowhere. So I'm going to go in with a smaller blending brush. But before I go in with a smaller blending brush, first, let me contour the sides of my nose a little bit. With the same palette I just did my bronzing my cheeks with, Kind of blend that out a little bit so it won't look so harsh. Okay, now we can go into the next palette. Actually, will be the final palette, and this one here is the OPV Beauty palette, Brush Born to Shine blush palette. So I'm gonna add a little color to my cheeks. I think I'm gonna go into this one here at the top, just to add just a little bit of something. And this palette too is very pigmented, so be careful when using it, because you can easily go overboard with the color, and we don't want that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and spray my face down to get rid of some of this powder. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pat this in. We're nearing the end, guys. We're nearing the end. Okay, so the last two products are lip products. And quite naturally, I'm going into the BFF4 lip liner that I received in my little mini haul. So I'm going to go ahead and outline my lips with this. Okay, and last but not least, I will be using a Colourpop gloss here, and can't think of what shade this is right off, but again, as I said, everything I use will be in the description box below. So let's go ahead and apply this. And this is just in a simple nude, neutral shade, just to have the lips looking and feeling moisturized. And that's it. Okay, guys, you let me know what you think. But before we do that, let me go change my shirt. Okay, guys, we are done. This is it. I've changed my shirt, so you guys can let me know what you think. Let me give you a good look at the eye look. I think everything came out well. Again, I have very few products on hand of Colourpop, so those I did use, and those things that I used I didn't have a comp of Colourpop. I just had to improvise, you know, just that cut and dry. The foundation, what do I think of the foundation? The foundation here is definitely a win-win. I am so ecstatic, not only of the fact that it was very thin going on, it wasn't nothing heavy. I think it did a great deal of coverage, and I didn't even do any color correcting. That's a plus. And I nailed it with the shade that matched my skin perfectly. So this is dark 170, so this is gonna be the shade I use, and then got to pull out another shade to complement it in any kind of way. So this is a win with the foundation. The eyeshadow palette, Triple Scoop is what it's called. Hands down, another win-win situation. I do have another Colourpop palette I've been having for quite some time. I did a video on that one too as well. I think that one was called Creamsicle. And but again, I love these quad palettes. They're easy to use, easy to just grab and go with, create a look, and you good to go. You just can't go wrong. I do like the fact that these colors are very pigmented. That's Colourpop for you. Again, win-win situation, hands down, no problem. We already know the BFF4, just like the BFF3. Those are only two that I use. Lip liners, okay. Let me take that back, because I do have one that's more of a mauve pink looking shade. So, but their lip liners are always creamy, dead on time, dead on spot. No scraping across the lips to outline the lips, or none of that. So that's a big plus as well. So other than that, the concealers, the Colourpop concealers, were concealers I've already had in my collection, so I've been using these for quite some time anyway, and I do love their concealers. Again, they dry down pretty fast and pretty matte, and I like that too. Just like the foundation, it was very thin in texture, but it got the job done, and that's what I like. So that's a plus. So that's it, guys. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I have no doubt, or I had no doubt, that Colourpop will come through in the end, and of course it did. You know, it did not disappoint. So I done rambled on enough and kept you guys. Let me know what you think. Leave all comments down below, okay? If it's anything I could have done different, or something else you guys want me to try. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate that, a huge deal. And I also have an Instagram page. Please subscribe to a sister over there. I would greatly appreciate that as well. So without further ado, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Stay blessed, and you guys have a good evening. Bye, guys.